Hey there, friend. This is Joy. I'm here to share some information about our November because I told you I listen back to these videos as well. And I was listening, they began to bring it to my ear when the Cup of Love was showing up in the Magic Monday, the 11th cup, which is you. And they're talking about that being the culmination of all the worlds coming on in. And they said it's definitely the 11th month, November. This whole month is a time of union, of returning to yourself, your energies returning to you, you choosing you focusing on you focusing on your intentions and bringing them forth and bringing them through, not being disturbed or distracted by the who, what, when, where, why, that whole thing, and just continuing to create in the midst. All right. So Chiron, aka Ki, Chi, energy, returning unto us, because that is our wound, right? It's wanting to return the medicine, the healing, just like the venom becomes the antivenom when it is returned to us. It's wanting to cure us, to set us, not to only heal us, but to also anneal us, to make us whole, right? Because when we're whole, there is no lack, aka poverty, that draws things in like a syringe to put us in an altered state. We want to be in our truth, in our true state, in our reality, to follow that. Now, they're also highly pointing out 1111 because it's 11, 11, 22. It is the magic number of the divine seeing the divine. Everything you've been waiting for, where you've been holding on, the part where you've been holding is for the rest of the story, for the punchline, for the punctuation, for the resolution, for the completion, that type of thing, the tidiness. And that's not a false desire, it's genuine, okay? So that's what the 11-11-22 is bringing in, and it's bringing it in over a period of time. There's this big like ripple effect, which is beautiful because it's not only going forward to the end of January and a little bit beyond, but it's also rippling back to early September time, because anything that is genuine is going to move in both directions. It is eternal. It is spherical. Well, all the directions, the Merkaba, the Metatron, and then particleize into the Sandalphon, meaning bringing in the wisdom and the meaning and the, by resolution, the release, that type of energy. That's the letting go that they're desiring for us. The full trust, the knowing as you are known. Okay, so let's get a little bit on this November. It's not just the November reading in that way. This is talking specifically more on the union, is what we're focusing on here. The union of what? And we're going to talk to Chiron about this because Chiron is bringing it in. It's the era of Ophiuchus, right? Ophiuchus is the getting us into the world that we were meant to live, not the flat dimensions. Like if you ever want to hear anything interesting, tune into Neil deGrasse Tyson talking about the different dimensions, that one who's living on a line versus the one dimension versus two versus three, and the way we see and perceive, okay, that it can't perceive beyond that. But when we begin to ask and to invite, life will reveal itself to us. It will show us. Life has the key to your door, but life still knocks, giving you the full authority, power, and permission to decide what comes into your world, okay? So here, I love it. We've got autumn. So it's even right now. Fully right now, positioned right now, ready. I love that. What's going on? Look at the tip of that finger, y'all, right here. Zoom, coming on up, because this is the hand of provision. This is the receptivity. This is our source, and our source is down here where we sit. So let's find out about that union, Chiron. I see the opening, the O there. Hold on. They did have me bring them. So there are these drawings. You could call them channel drawings, whatever. I sit down and I go into the state, and these images come through, and then later on, I'm shown what has occurred. But it's like this. Do you see that right here? It's all about this. This is the logic, the space that has been spread open to allow this world to come on in out here. This is a world full of words, full of hands, and it's trying to manifest and create. But the magic is in the life. The life is in you, and it's coming from your source. It's coming from the base. It is coming from 444, whoever wonders, choosing your attitude. They had me write the word gratitude, G-R-A-T-T. I-T-U-D-E, setting the attitude is key. And it says attitude is everything. right now. Opening the gateway. Words matter, meaning they're matter. And matter simply changes form. So it's taking this raw Mars, Neptune type energy and making it one that's earthen and tactile. Because real always, words matter. Because real always, whether we know it or not. No, excuse me. Words matter. They become real whether we know it or not. It's coming all along the avenue of delight. Going down me into the basics. Okay, somebody loves you. And the thumb is very prevalent in this. The thumb is what differentiates us. It's the 5 that allows us to bring it all together. 4 is the number of stability. 5 is taking hold of it, taking hold of the manifestation and the way in which we create order, the way we move matter. It's like alchemy, y'all. Talking about needing to emphasize the separation in order to display the light. So right now, if there is any challenge, if there feels like there's separation, contradiction, heartfelt matters, stress, that type of thing, that they're just wanting you to simply breathe, because it's creating the display of light. It's causing that contrast for the sake of creating dimension. Did I mention that? No, the gratitude, the setting of our attitude is key here. Key here. And the key here, death and judgment. Doing away with these energies, these limitations, these palpable limitations. How do we bypass the 2 final authorities, 708, whoever wonders? It's like, when we go into that neutral, that still point, and we realize that life is, well, they're just using the word mimicking us. Kind of like you can teach a bird to repeat what you say, and you can create the environment and the cues in which they repeat it. And like you'll do a call and response type of thing. They're talking about you having the hand on both parts. Okay. That what we've been taught was control, was having both hands on it. Both hands on the wheel. Where here life is wanting to put a hand in. They're talking about bringing in a 3rd element. So the 3rd element, it's funny, I have the affirmators and they're saying affirmation, affirmation. So we're going to get the affirmation card, the 3rd element, about where we set our mind and set truly our heart. So how do we set our heart into this union, Chiron? I see stuff trying to come out at the bottom. Let's come directly here. How do we come directly to ourselves in this affirmation? Okay, there we go. I define my, is it singular? I knew it felt thick. Interesting. So it's about how do we get into the hidden, because it's talking about I define my worth and I am worthy. The and. So what is the and? I am the author of my own story. And look, there's that shadow. That emphasis going on here, that is what lets you know that there is a light source in your life, that there is a light shining on you. It's talking a lot about the Leo energy right now, because death feels so absolute and this judgment feels so absolute, like there could be nothing beyond it, but there is. These are just moments of execution. They're like when you put in your destination into your GPS, it'll get you there, but you don't just sit in your car once you get there, do you? No, you continue to live. You're going there for a reason. Life has so much more body and volume and dimension and meaning. So under judgment, we'll put the I am. Oh, it's upside down. I define my worth and I am worthy. They're saying, let us impress this upon your heart. Worth. Worth leads to worthship. Worship. Spending time with your energy, benefiting your energy, listening to yourself, reflecting with yourself. That brings in the union. So since I've inverted this card here, tell us a little bit about this. I define my worth and I am worthy. I see you trying to come out there. We got another double Dutch. Man, I remember on the playground as a kid, we did that. It's a matter of really, you focus and you're opening the aperture at the same time. You've got the relaxed state, the parasympathetic and the sympathetic going at the same time. It's like people who can circle breathe. Those who play air instruments for the symphony, they have to learn how to circle breathe and able to keep the continuous flow of music. Like those who can hold a note for a really long time, it's not just that they can take in that much breath. Often they can take in that much control. They're taking in the inner and the outer sphere at the same time. And they're saying it's not that we can necessarily see that line, it is what we experience. 9 of Pentacles and the Chariot. And look, it's reiterating it right here. It's like coming out of the 4 of Wands, that they understand that that's what you seek. Total satisfaction, the victory of satisfaction, like the earth in zenith, like king of the mountain, won the prize, won the championship, that type of thing. But they're talking about there's more than that. There's more than meets the eye. There is what comes forward into the foreground. And when it comes into the foreground, you begin to recognize that there is dimension. So tell us a little bit about this dimension. Actually, I want to get one of these to tell us about the dimension. Covrum Terram, the Earth's heart. Like the gobstopper. 52, okay. We're taking it, apparently. It flew over onto the autumn. And that's what they're talking about, glorious. That what seems to be lost, seems to be shedding, seems to be beautiful for a moment, and then dull and dreary and desolate, that there is beauty in that. And they're wanting you to keep your attitude beautiful, because beauty has to do with integrity. The same on the inside as the outside. So they're saying when the world seems to be tearing away or pulling away or casting this dull or dreary outward experience, and y'all, I'm just generalizing this, okay? I'm a winter baby. I love the winter and the way it looks. But there can be things that our mind could get fixated on the stark reality. That's like the death, hold on, and the judgment that are here, getting stuck on that and allowing it to just stay like a skip on the record. They're wanting you to put the penny on the needle, thus yourself, your vote, just that little bit of acknowledgement, and set the external environment through your internal. That's why they're wanting us to go inside now, so that we keep the perpetual youth, the heaven on earth, the light in the dark, that whole energy going on, and we awaken the dreamer. So this is a time to awaken the dreamer. I want to know a little bit more about that then. Awakening the dreamer of the Earth's heart. It's obvious the rose is in here. And it's wanting to talk about the green, the alchemy, when the red and white make green. 10 of Wands. Look at you. Beyond death's door, it's being in death's core. The earth's core, the earthen core. But see, that bug, it makes me think of like a June bug. They normally have these profound iridescent colors on the dark background. And they were talking to me earlier today about the fluorescent being, the fluorescent comes from the depths of the earth. It is the light within the dark. So the wands have now placed itself beside the death, wanting to know where we come from. And it's exhibiting very much a strong moth energy. So we're getting another card for this. I feel more and more healed every day. And they're talking about feeling more and more connected, more and more true, more and more of your nature. 14, whoever's wondering, being in that, because that is what is satisfying. That is what is healing. It's like, well, a horse running, or a rabbit hopping, or a duck flying. That type of energy is expressing exactly the who you are, the physical component of it, the interaction with your nature. So tell us a little bit more about this feeling healed more and more every day, getting into our true nature. The elephant right here is going woo and dance in that direction, like celebration. Look how nimble you are with this, how you're able to, it's not juggling like the juggling energy of trying to make ends meet. It's the playing with your energy, because there is plenty. He's got a top hat on. This is celebration, not a performance. This is for no one but you. Centered on the truth of who you are. I see that. That's too much. Centered on the truth of who you are. Hang on. It danced right on how it said, we will show you. I'm going to take what was seen, and then we'll find out what was unseen. The Page of Cups, looking this right in your face. Okay, so apparently you have a lot of talents and gifts that maybe you haven't employed yet. You're keeping them more at a elementary or rudimentary level, thinking, yes, it does meet the needs of all, but there are those that are calling forth your development, not just your growth. They're wanting you to develop, to evolve into the fullness of your love, into the maturity of your love, into the completeness. Bringing in the full spectrum of the grain, the full spectrum of your heart. Okay. And this is the one that, okay, so it inverted itself and it hit itself. The Knight of Pentacles. They're talking about daring to make a move. And they're not daring you, talking about daring. Just like, that is like the first step of courage. Courage is getting yourself situated because you're aware of what you're up against to some extent. And you're aware of what's inside of you to some extent. The daring is like, okay, I'm going to move forward into this, and then it's going to start. And then we will find out. So there's a bit of reservation being held back in regards to that. So Spirit, I want to know, is there any information, wisdom, helping, guidance that you could give to help us move forward in this daringness instead of being caught in the trap of trepidation? How do we move forward? And they're talking about the Pentacles. Okay, so that means we will, well, they both have Pentacles. Okay, so they want one of each. Four of Swords. This is sitting in that meditation, the place between worlds, and focusing on the light, delight, the sun, not allowing any naysaying to come on in. They're saying that your mind is kind of doing a Two of Pentacles, weighing back and forth, the this or the that, instead of realizing there's something greater. There's the whole. Remember, the elephant was telling us to focus on the celebration and to play. They're wanting you to play and to engage in the energies, to imbibe in the energies. And that doesn't mean be risky. That's not taking a risk, being risky, like Mayhem on that commercial. I'm not a fan. They're wanting you to play with the energy and begin to discover what is inside of you. I see it. It's love how it came out on the shuffle. The Perpetual Victor. This is like Mercury, and Mercury here isn't just talking about what comes out of your mouth. It's talking about who you are, your truth, and it's rising up, taking hold, just like the Page of Cups is doing here. Both hands. They used to say idle hands, devil's workshop, and we're not talking about angel versus devil, but devil is a life that's lived backwards, right? The hindsight 2020, I woulda, coulda, shoulda, or those things. It's like a perpetual condemnation of yourself because it's going against the grain. It's exposing and it's creating areas for rot and mildew and festering energies when they really want you to go forward, because this is how life sees you. Talented, gifted, blessed, effective. I love that the Chariot is showing up as effective. In the now. In the know, because the no comes after the now, and that's what they're talking about. They're pressing the now button, and you're like, wait, hold up. Wait, hold up. Let me meditate on that. Let me think on that. Let me develop a plan on that. Let me figure it all out. Let me fill out the parameters. Let me troubleshoot. Let me do all that. And they're saying 19, for whoever's wondering. That is actually what stirs up this. Stirs up an ending. They're trying to make a beginning with you. And when you go, hold up, wait, you just put a period. I hope you stuck around for this, because it's in those moments of us sifting and sorting through all this that they bring in those profound truths, which are like, what, pow, that was a period on the end of the sentence. And Judgment is now looking like, they just read them. I see, telling the truth. Not me, them to all of us, y'all, because I sit on the other side too. And that's the victory. It's like, that's the overcoming power. That's the wands, okay, that we were seeing here, right? That's the wands. There's something in the foreground, and they're talking about you. This is that attitude. So you might want to watch the information station that talks about setting our attitude, or like it's talking about here, that gratitude going on, right, is the power of our permission, that we permit good things to happen, and not good versus bad, but things that are in line, in tune, in tone with who we are. They keep with the rhythm of our beat, our drummer, our heart, that bring about our pleasure and satisfaction. Thank you, crustacean. That is simply said. That is the message from the Page of Cups, brought to you by the Page of Cups. Anyways, I'm glad you stopped by. It's exciting to know a bit more about this November and the union. Chiron talking about how we can come along this path, allowing this life to flow through us, this wholeness to flow through us, this resolution, completion, and fruition. All right, I love you. Click any of those buttons down below. Let me know you were here. All right, vote for yourself. Love yourself. Bye. Ta-da!